Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Welcome to the Lost at Home podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Jeremiah.
And we are back for yet another episode. This is spring. We're doing a spring-themed episode.
Spring, even spring breaky. You just got back from a nice vacation in spring break territory, I think.
Just got back from Cancun. It's been a few days since I got back. But yes, that was during the spring break season, and I figured we talked a few weeks back about theming these episodes so that when we get to the making content from the weird news stories we pull up from the depths of the internet, we can capitalize on maybe having just, I don't know, a little forethought.
Yeah.
It worked out well with the rom-com episode.
And I think having I don't want to call it limitations, but structure, I guess, is the thing. We are not the most structured of podcasts.
No, we put some show notes together. We try to get through them. We don't always hit the end. I think now at this point, what we're going to have is, I don't know, at least a driving force behind our thoughts. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And honestly, if I decide to go outside of those parameters, I'm just going to.
Well, yeah, we're just going to have fun.
Same with you. Feel free.
Regardless, we're going to have fun. It's not going to be so strict that we can't just, blast our nut all over the place.
Spring break!
Spring break! Yeah, cool! That's the sound my dick makes when I ejaculate.
God,
that's
if
right.
only.
Yeah, that's still staying within the themes. So
all right.
Here we go. Yeah, sometimes we like to get lost in thought, though. Before we get into the weird news that fell through the cracks, to give all you guys the nuggets that we found.
We like to reflect on the week before.
We like to get lost in thought. Now, this is very lost in thought because we actually had this note a long time ago. These notes a long time ago.
Notes.
These are carryover notes, and we also every once in a while we'll have some nice weather. You and I will get together and be like, yeah, you know what, fuck recording, and we'll just do it later. But I was like, oh, what's this first one that Scott brought to the table? This was mine. I was wondering if they ever made, the things called crocs that you put on your feet. They have the ugly things with but they're supposed to be very comfortable. I don't own a pair, but because I just think they're absolutely abysmal looking. But I totally get it. They're comfortable. I was wondering if you can get those. Like they have gator boots. If you can get gator crocs, because alligators and crocodiles are pretty much the same creature from the dinosaur age. So I would love.
So instead of crocs, gators.
Yeah, and no, it's gator crocs, but because a gators just means gator boots, but gator crocs.
Gators footwear. Gators is a brand that competes with Crocs in the foam footwear market. Oh my god! There's a foam footwear market. I feel dirty for saying those words, but after a quick search on the internet, they offer similar products that focus on comfort and casual style.
It's probably worth billions of dollars.
When you want to shoot an AK-47 at some Bud Lights, wear gators. But yeah, it's actually a real company. Does basically the exact same thing. Nope. There's very little other information other than that they exist.
Okay. Yeah. Well, because everybody knows Crocs. Everybody knows Crocs.
They look like Crocs. Yeah, that's about all I got. Well, also, I've got images here that were shared of the Florida Gators college basketball team.
Yes.
Branded Crocs, which also is...
so Gators Crocs. Great Gators branded Crocs. Okay.
In other words, there's Gators footwear, and then there's Gators branded Crocs as well. If you really want to get
So Crocs
granular.
is also a footwear, but Gators branded Crocs footwear.
So why didn't the Gators do a deal with Gators? Gators.
So here,
Gators cubed, squared.
Actually,
X.
So I actually just heard about this thing that's they're talking about, because the gators are endangered now. So they're talking about doing a specialty concert called Gatorade. It was a long setup for the dumbest joke I've ever told. But, well, I'll see you later, folks.
No.
Get lost.
There's no such thing as a bad joke here at the Lost Zone podcast.
Get lost. All right, everybody. Has been a good run. 418 episodes, not prime.
For someone who likes dad jokes, I approve of that message.
Okay, thank you. Now you have actually one of the funniest Lost in Thoughts. When I read this in the show notes a couple weeks ago, just the sentence alone, I literally LOL'd because it's such a ridiculously simple concept and just makes your mind go wild, because those are my favorite jokes. It plants something, you're like, it's funny just when you say it, and then it makes you think about the whole thing, and you're like,
why?
Oh my
Because
God.
I gave no explanations, no nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I just wrote, and this is the sentence, 1 clown enters, 2 clowns leave.
Yeah.
That's it, and I left it.
because I love it because it's just so
It's
silly.
like 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yeah.
The octagon.
Well, and because
That was my thought.
I
The
envisioned
reverse.
it like also you could I would say like you could work with like magicians or something like that as like a magician joke, but just 1 clown enters, 2 clowns leave. It's so bizarre and so funny and so silly because also clowns are like I don't know they're kind of like silly magicians. They do weird things and whatever. Like so, I just imagine clown cars. Where it's this clown car. With
You mentioned clown cars when we talked about this before, and I hadn't even thought of that.
Well, no, because you're like, oh, this one little clown comes out in this tiny little car, and then suddenly there's 100 clowns coming around, and it's just like so 1 clown enters, 2 clowns leave is just. Yeah, I don't know. I really appreciated the simplicity of that joke, and also just the way the fact that
It'd be great
it
on a
requires your brain to
tombstone.
run wild. It makes you do the funny stuff in your head.
I want it to be a tombstone, like my full name, my death and birth dates.
Yeah.
And then below it, it's just etched in granite. 1 clown enters, 2 clowns leave. And anyone who's walking through the cemetery for the rest of history, as long as that stone is standing, just so many people walking by going, the fuck?
Right, yeah.
And then they just sit in front of your grave.
Yeah.
And they just ponder it.
And be like, yeah. And,
And it starts gathering a cult following of like people like.
And then you get the coveted graveyard's most mourned award.
Yeah.
That they always definitely give out to the gravestone that gets the most visitors.
Or you just end up at that gravestone where people like leave clown dolls and clown masks.
How creepy would that be?
People wandering it's like a
that?
clown graveyard
I'm gonna be
at
honest,
your stone.
I'll be honest, I kind of want to just do that to a random grave.
You start leaving clowns.
Just like at one grave, somebody who's been like dead for so long, maybe it's a little
1820,
over,
yeah.
maybe like a little overgrown. So clearly, because I don't want to like insult a family.
No, like a slate stone from 1820.
I don't want to fuck over like a family who's going.
And
after
no one
me.
knows why.
Yeah, it's in the background, but then it's like a clown. Oh, that would be a mystery. We're gonna give it away here, but they had like the person, the pee bandit or whatever. It's not really pee bandit. They were leaving piss in like California.
Yeah, they'd have to steal piss to be a pee bandit.
No, that was like the.
Where's your piss?
Yeah, yeah, but they.
Oh, I guess I'll just leave some.
So
That's not how that works.
That's not how a bandit works. A bandit, yeah.
You don't break into a house looking for a PS5, can't find one, be like, well, this family's poor, and you leave one.
Yeah. The PS5 bandit is at it again. I think he's more of like the Robin Hood of PS5.
Just leaving them at poor
He's
houses.
just giving people PS5s. He's kind of a saint.
Takes them from the rich house, leaves them at the poor house.
Yeah, exactly.
Except all the accounts are logged in, and it can be tracked as soon as it's plugged in.
Oh yeah, so you fucked that family over
Oh,
bad.
you're basically causing homelessness on a massive scale.
Because the rich people are going to get people to fucking kick their door down and take everything those people have ever owned.
Yeah, if you're poor and you call the cops, they'll arrest you. If you're rich and call the cops, they'll arrest the poor.
Exactly. They'll find somebody to pin it on. Hey, the country works. Capitalism is great. But so we got some good stuff out of that.
I definitely do. I love the idea of just creepy clowns, bringing them to someone's grave.
You start with one, and again, like somebody won't notice, but people are like, why is somebody leaving these clowns? And then they'll look into the history of the person. Maybe you even find a gravestone where you could like reverse engineer a story about a clown if you absolutely tried, and just see what the media runs with, like or what Reddit runs with, like the clown, like, and then they're gonna set up game cams, and they're gonna see like who's leaving these creepy clowns.
I was gonna say, before the cams, when the popularity's rising, you just remove them all.
Exactly,
and then you put them on another grave.
Yeah.
Like first one's a guy, next one's a girl. Like you change it up a little, or like one of those gravestones just says "baby" back from like the non vaccinated years.
Yeah,
so we're about to re-enter thanks to RFK.
Yep. Yeah, the one who was just like they didn't even have a chance to name the kid because they're just like Farmer 7 is just fucking popped out of the womb.
From our trip to Cancun, we came back. Kelly came back with a virus of some kind, probably the flu. She was sick midweek.
Like in a jar?
She was sick midweek, and it got bad enough where she had 100 fever and was very out of it and had a very sore throat from coughing. And she literally was like, she would look at me, she'd be like, can you grab the ice back from the fridge? And it was like, you do an RFK, that's great. I can't. Yeah. I literally looked at her, and I am the worst caregiver. I'm like, I will get you some water, I'll grab you an ice pack. You're gonna kill me. You sound just like RFK right now, and I'm doing everything I can not to like die. And she just looks at me. She's like, "Ice pack, water." Like, I'm like, I hate to say it, you sound just like RFK.
Hey, can you get me some water? And yeah. Oh man. Oh, we're in the good golden times. But you know what? We have a whole bunch web dropping, Scott. And we're gonna have a little bit of a good time making these. Maybe, I don't know, maybe spring break themed. So how about we get into some web droppings?
Got it.
Web droppings that falling through, so bizarre, you won't believe it's true.
All right, my first story here, and this is very timely with all the flights I've been taking.
Yeah.
Man sees demon and freaks out on American Airlines flight, screams, throws punches, and eats rosary beads.
So we're I'm not going to bury the lead or anything like this, but because we obviously have to get into the story. But when I read eats rosary beads, I was like, oh, maybe this is just them doing like some clickbait, but because like a lot of people like put rosary beads in their mouth when they're doing like the counting or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, they weren't like literally eating them. Spoiler alert, they literally ate their rosary beads. So this is not a very well person, but American Airlines. Now, Scott, you didn't take American Airlines down there, did you? Because you took it down to old Cancuni?
Nope, I won't name the airlines, but one's my usual and one was not a usual, but it was fine.
Yep, good. All right.
But neither was American. There's not that many airlines that do the kind of flights I do, because I tend to go to the same Mexican areas, if you will. And there's only so many flights that just fly straight into Mexico from the U.S. There's not
usually from JFK.
There's not hundreds coming down there.
Usually from one of the main hubs, you'll get some, so you can,
So an American Airlines passenger headed to Miami from Savannah, Georgia, flew into a frenzy just after takeoff Monday night when he realized who else was on board. A demonic spirit.
Yeah.
Or
just a person that he saw like
mental illness.
Mental illness, and he saw something. And
I often consider religion a mental illness, so.
Oh yeah, when people believe that like there's literally a spirit in the seat next to you, I think it's okay for us to consider that mental illness and not a spiritual awakening. I'm not gonna give shit about people who just want to go like, maybe when I die I'll see my grandma again.
There's a difference.
This is different.
There's also good religion and bad religion. I know people who are deep into religion who are good people,
and
I know people who are deep in religion who are evil people. So
and I love Bad Religion, the band. It's a great band.
I've seen them live.
You did see them live? Oh my god, that's awesome! They were one of my favorite bands. I mean, I still love them, but like one of my favorite bands back in the '90s. Yeah,
I saw them at the Burlington Waterfront with with Offspring and NoFX.
What? Why the fuck did I miss that one?
I don't know. It was like in 2011.
So it was 12. So it was right before.
Right around the time we were starting to hang out again.
Yeah. It was right before the time our podcast started back up in 2014.
It was right around then.
And you and I probably started hanging out about a year after that. So I'm not going to take too much of a slight at the fact that I wasn't invited or didn't know anything about it. Probably the fact that I didn't know anything about it. That's on me.
Yeah, it was just up there. It was a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, I was literally playing in bands in Burlington at the time. I have no idea how the fuck I didn't know that 3 of my favorite bands from the 90s.
We saw NoFX, Bad Religion, and Offspring all in the Waterfront at once.
Shit, that's a fucking 90s wet dream.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a dream, but it was wet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, We
got wet. It was on the waterfront. How could you not get wet? I mean, also, people were peeing on each other. It was a NoFX.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
That's what NoFX is known for.
Classic hot dog
in the
hallway.
Their song, whip it out, let it spray.
Honestly, they have a hot dog in the hallway. They might as well, right? So, I think that was them. NoFX, hot dog in the hallway. Was that them? I don't know. I'll find that out while you're telling the story.
The sight of a dark presence caused the horrified gentleman on this American Airlines flight to kick the seat in front of him as he screamed, trembled, and began to swallow his rosary beads. At first, 7 or 8 other passengers on this flight were seeing him and thought he just had a seizure. They thought he was like becoming violent because he was spazzing out. We got a quote here. This came from Savannah, Georgia. As attendants approached the man, DeLonge Augustine, 31 years old, he kicked one of them in the chest so darn hard that the attendant tumbled across the aisle and into the window on the other side of the plane.
Hot damn.
That's when the crew cabin realized that Mr. Augustine, bless his heart, who was traveling with his sister, was not having a medical emergency. The small plane returned to Georgia, did a 180, went from going to Miami all the way back to its previous place, because they said this happened right after takeoff, so they were able to just hang
Yeah. They were able to do like essentially a standard disembark. Yeah.
Where the man was taken into custody, but not before getting a few punches aimed at a flight attendant on his way off the plane.
That's like when people talk about like some of the most dangerous jobs out there, and actually you know people who have worked in the mental health industry. That's one of the most dangerous jobs. More dangerous. You're more likely to get injured than you are being like a cop in some of these industries. Flight attendant is another one where people are like like, oh, there's a good chance, 50-50 chance you're gonna show up like home after work with a fucking black eye and you're a flight attendant. It shouldn't be the case, but it is.
No. We got a little blurb here from
Especially
the New
during
York
COVID.
Times inside of this other article. Great journalism, by the way, when you just take 4 paragraphs from the New York Times and put it right in the middle of your article.
Yeah, it's called the
Great
I mean,
journalism.
this is from boingboing.net, by the way.
but still a real story. That's why I took it.
I know, yes, yeah.
Disembarkament.
It was a more fun version of honestly what it is it's a boiled down version of the New York Times
Yes.
story, yes.
Disembark-
Also, you don't need a fucking subscription to get it, so.
No, yeah, true. You're getting the meat and potatoes here.
Yeah.
Disembarkment from the jet spiraled into chaos when Mr. Augustine stormed to the front of the plane and threw several wild punches at a flight attendant before the door had been opened. Several passengers helped to wrestle him and his sister to the ground.
Yep.
When authorities learned that Mr. Augustine had swallowed his rosary beads, he was taken to a hospital where he was evaluated and discharged to a county detention center.
He'll poop them out.
Yeah, pretty much, yep.
It's like when like dogs will eat garland or whatever, or like your tinsel, and it'll be like cats will eat tinsel, be like, it'll cause some wreckage to their intestines for a second, but they'll just shit out some glittery fucking poop. This is going to be a really pretty, very Christly shit he takes later.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Or he can start himself like a
The
chainsaw and
beads,
just rip it out.
the beads will be fine, like because that's just like anal beads. It's the cross at the end that's gonna cause some tearage.
Well, it's because it's coming out upside down. It's the devil's anal
Oh
cross.
no, the devil's anal cross. Well, it depends on which way you're looking at my asshole from.
It was right side up when he swallowed it. Came
That's
out
right.
upside down.
That's right.
No, it would still.
Nope, it would still be the.
No, that's what makes the devil's cross. The devil flipped it in him.
Yeah, it could also just be your, your stomach just doing its thing and switching things around. But yeah,
They were flying to Haiti to flee religious attacks of a spiritual nature.
yeah.
They're
Sounds like they were
basically
predisposed.
religious. They're religious wackos.
Yeah, it sounds like they were predisposed to religious wackery, and. Just wait till you land to swallow your rosary. Wait till you land to punch. Like it sounds like they were fleeing fake demons, and then they ended up seeing the fake demons because they wanted to see fake demons on the fucking flight.
What do you call missions? Right?
Yes.
Missionaries. They're missionaries.
Yeah. Like when you
That's
actually
kind
go
when they want to go and convert someone. So,
Exactly, yeah.
So this could be just called spring break missionary position.
Oh my god. Oh, actually, that would be kind of like that wouldn't be a terrible thing. Like I don't know if you've watched Heretic yet, but it reminds me of like with like missionaries like that where they
I saw Heretic.
where they would intentionally go to these sinful communities.
Yeah, but
so
they're going to like to Haiti, Cancun, any of those places where spring break would be happening.
Haiti. Like a missionary would go to like spring break, and obviously they would be tempted by all this fucking sex and booze and rock and roll.
You get a 90s romp, where everyone's like, they're like, we want to put Jesus in you. Oh, is your name Jesus?
Oh yeah. Oh, and then at some point
I've got some holy places for you to fill.
And at some point, I know that there are Catholic missionaries, so I guess we can make this Catholic because the Rosary is specifically a Catholic thing. So
let's assume they're Catholic.
So we've got that, and they take the Rosary out to hand it to some bro, and he just smashes it and crushes it up and snorts the Rosary, and just yeah, man, I feel Jesus inside of me already, man. Just fucking somebody snorting a Rosary and also obviously the Rosary is anal beads. We've got that story already, and then somebody pulling it out, and then it cuts them, up because they fucking pull it out cross wrong.
They're offering people rosaries, and then a rival gang, not a rival because they're not a gang.
Oh, actually, the thing about Mexico is very Catholic,
Yeah.
so it would make
but a
total
gang
sense.
grabs them and is like, you can't cut in our drug
Oh
business.
my god! How about
And
a turf war?
they have rosaries, the gangs,
Yes.
that they sell people for $100.
That
and
literally is
each bead is
cocaine.
coke.
Yes.
Each bead's a bump.
Yes, and not only that, but also
So they think they're selling drug rosaries on their turf.
They've got that turf war, but they also have the actual Mexican Catholic missionary turf war, where there's already Mexican Catholic missionaries down there trying to convert people, so they bump into the actual missionaries. So there's a missionary turf war and literally a cartel.
Rosaries.
Yeah, a cartel turf war between them, and it's just these sweet
Wackiness ensues.
Yes, sweet Catholic American family who thinks they're going to go down and do good deeds.
Starring Taylor Reid, Sean Patrick, Sean, the guy, Sean.
Sean William Scott?
Yeah!
Sean Patrick Harris. I think
I was
they were
mashing
mixing a
up some
couple.
people.
Honestly, a 90s mashup It's
Sean Benjamin.
I did. Oh, Sean William Scott. Have you been watching Gemstones this season? He's on Gemstones.
I have not started it. We actually wanted to
He's on
backlog a couple, so when
Yes.
we get excited, we don't have to wait a week. We can
first
do
of all-
like we can wait every 4 days.
First of all, you could watch the first episode and then it won't. It's completely separate to the series. It's a back in time episode. It's a really bold way to start because it's really fucking depressed. It's really depressing.
I think they figure
and
if you're
doesn't have
starting the fourth
Dude.
season, you already know what you're getting into.
Well, yeah, but like it is so bold. Not a single character is in the first episd that is in
It's
the regular
younger
one.
versions,
It's
yeah.
no, not even that. No, it's literally back in time in the 1800s. It's like fucking. It's Gemstone Zero. Like.
Huh.
So and it is like it's like an historical drama, like Civil War historical drama, and it's really fucking sad at the end. So just watch that out.
Wonderful.
So it's good. It's a good thing you banked them because then you can move on to the episode 2, which is one of the funniest Gemstone episodes I've ever seen. They knew they had to go hard after it's really bold. I love that fucking show. If people are not watching Gemstones by now, they have to. So anyway, we got a great bit of content from that. All
right.
This next one.
I sent you.
Oh, boy.
I sent you through our work chat the link, and I wrote right after it. Jesus Christ!
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No pun intended with our last story.
Yeah. No, this is nothing. Jesus has nothing to do with this one.
Yeah.
This is might be one of the darkest fucking things. We've covered some dark shit. This one is like fucking crazy, dude.
All right. Title: Fake Down syndrome influencers created with AI are being used to promote OnlyFans content.
By the way, now that you've
That's
said it
a
out,
sentence I never thought I would say.
now that you've said it out loud, that's the most 2025 sentence I've ever heard. Most of that sentence couldn't have existed 10 years ago. Like, OnlyFans was probably on the cusp. AI
Down
was
syndrome's
not
new.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to just call it that other thing, that thing that Elon Musk is always saying. But no, this is really crazy. That sentence alone is, if that's not clickbait, if this isn't just clickbait, I was like, this is clickbait, and then you read, I'm like, nope, this is the whole story.
There's a subreddit, I forget what it's called. It's something like original sentences or things that have never been said before.
Yeah. I love that concept. Like every once in a while, I will say like a combination of words. I'm like, I may have been the first person in at least Earth history who have said that exact. Actually, the likelihood would be that even if there was a whole galaxy and worth of other planets, they probably don't speak English to then have spoken those words unless it's an infinite universe. We're getting to the meat and potatoes here. A sausage is getting made.
All right. Speaking of that,
really. All right, I won't connect these dots. Connect them.
a disturbing trend has emerged where AI is being used to create Instagram influencers with Down syndrome to promote adult content on platforms like OnlyFans and FanView.
I didn't even know what FanView is.
No,
and there's not even it doesn't even link to it, so I
No.
assume it's kind of a new, fresher. Like, hey guys, you're sick of OnlyFans taking your money? FanView is gonna take your money too.
This practice, which involves stealing content from a real creator, replacing their face with AI-generated ones, has grown into a concerning industry. The resulting fake personas are then used to sell nudes on monetized platforms with a focus on exploiting and fetishizing of disabilities.
Yeah. So the thing that I got out of this too was that it's one of the concerns is that more, which is funny. I thought it would go the other way because it was for a while. Like more and more platforms are allowing people to make money on AI generated content, and by doing that, you'll see what they call AI slop all over YouTube.
Yeah,
and it's so hard to fucking like sift through it because you can literally just have something all but. And I actually watched somebody talked about how to like insert a poison pill into their transcripts so that these AI content generators who just automatically scrape transcripts, piece things together, and then go find piecemeal, public domain shit from all over the internet and just like churning out 6 videos a day.
Yeah.
Like how you get, and they sometimes get more views than the actual original content.
Yep.
So some people have figured out how to make the transcript read differently than what you're saying. So it will say like a bunch of ridiculous shit in the transcript. So all these scrapers will hopefully like,
interesting,
be like the AI scrapers. But this is like now the fact that they're actually like a lot of times that people won't be allowed to monetize AI generated content. Now more of these platforms are allowing that. YouTube is one of them, where you can be like, yeah, you want to just make a bunch of AI slop? Cool. As long as people keep clicking and keep watching the fucking Coca-Cola ads, we're gonna go ahead and just pay you a bunch of money, you fucking nothings. So, you know, like, so it's great. Like, the same thing is happening. They're scraping other people's content via AI, auto-generated content to then point
recycling it.
Yeah, and then pointing people to other, like, actual money-making platforms like OnlyFans, where real stuff actually exists. Yeah.
And one of the terms they're using for searchability for these videos is instead of OnlyFans, it's only down.
Only down, yeah.
So I think this might be the first piece of content we're going to skip.
Yeah. Yeah, Downly fans would have been fine too. Could have done that one.
Downly fans.
Yeah. We're gonna skip this one anyway. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and move on.
I think if my gears turned, I'm gonna say something offensive.
No, I will. Okay, so I will say, like, so what I was talking about here, and there's a little more clarification here. The content's recycled content. I'm sorry, the accounts recycled content, reusing videos and bios, which is already fucked up. Linked to the same adult content pages. Many of the deep fake faces appear convincing. Subtle errors exposed their artificial nature. So a lot of times you might even be clicking on one of these things and not even realizing it's AI at all. Because, especially, dude, how close are you paying attention to, like, the subtle errors when your dick in your hand, you're fucking whacking it, you know? I mean, I'm saying dick in your hand. I guess you could be rubbing your bean or whatever too. Like, I'm not leaving anybody out. You know, everybody can masturbate to OnlyFans content. Everybody can have a disability fetish. I almost
feel like the only people who should be jerking off to or flicking the bean to only down is people who are also the same.
We were talking about this earlier.
Made for you, by you.
Yeah, because
it's not. It's deep faking.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about it. It's like, this is definitely there too, which is also a tricky one because, okay, they're scamming. Like, we're not like kink shamers at all, but we were talking earlier about, like, there is something to be said about somebody who has a disability fetish, because at that point we're talking about somebody who is clearly, like, about, like, I would say, like, the power over somebody.
It's like a right-wing comedian. You can only punch down in that respect.
Yeah, punch down. I get it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh no, man.
That was just
purely organic, folks.
Yep. No,
he's this shit. He just on his own.
He's punching downs.
Yeah. Oh god. No, but like ultimately, we're just like, okay. Like, I mean, this is also in the legal sense. People are like, there are certain, whether or not you can or can't consent in certain,
Yeah, you'd have to figure out a platform where, like, only down exists for real with Down
these are adults
with Down syndrome
people,
and it's for Down syndrome people, and there needs to be a way to gatekeep normal people. Oh my god!
So now we're gonna create a list of all
able-minded and bodied people out. You'd almost need a CAPTCHA, like, I'm not a robot, but I am a.
Oh my god!
And they would, and they
we're getting so bad. We're becoming such a part of the problem, because really what we're saying is, hey, let's create a list of the disabled. Let's create a master list where we can just.
But I'm saying,
this is just the eugenics fucking wet.
But like some perfectly non-afflicted creep who wants to look at this stuff needs a CAPTCHA style block to keep them from getting in that only they could get in through.
Yeah.
I don't think I can say this. I don't think I can put any more lipstick on this pig.
So we probably should have stopped when we said we should have stopped, and we should have gone from there, and we're just going to move right on.
Zombie deer!
But don't call it zombie deer disease. Sounds like it's
chronic wasting disease.
This sounds like it's very, but also call it zombie deer disease. This is clickbait. We're fine with that. I mean, they literally in the headline says, don't call it zombie deer disease, so people will look up zombie deers and click on it. But
regardless, this is a story we brought to the table twice before.
And get a big surprise.
It's because
things have not gotten better.
Getting worse.
And we're not gonna get too political
zombie deer everywhere.
But I'm not gonna get
everywhere. My local Shaw's zombie deer.
Oh yeah.
Not just the meat in the cooler, but the zombie deer eating their own brethren from the cooler directly from the packages.
Yeah, I actually saw this.
They can eat the plastic. They're zombies.
There's a new Robert Kirkman show coming out called Galloping Dead.
I like that.
Walking Dead. Instead of walking, they gallop. You see what I did there? That's a dad joke number 2 for me. We should get a dad joke fucking ticker.
We herd immunity, how basically modern right-wing science doesn't seem to believe in herd immunity anymore. Yeah. Big problems in our New England states too with the children not getting the measles vaccinations. Yeah. Herd immunity numbers are dropping.
Right.
Where we're going to have
the whole point of the vaccine is essentially to build up herd immunity safely. Yeah.
The movie of this is just called Herd Immunity.
Yeah.
And we use that to teach. It's a funny movie. We do like Zombie Bear, right? Or not Zombie Bear,
Cocaine Bear. Yeah.
We do
Cocaine
that,
Bear, yeah.
but we call it Herd Immunity to teach what that is. You even have like a college professor or high school. Let's do high school teacher.
Yeah,
That'll be more associated with enough people. Where like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah,
high
yeah.
school. I dropped out freshman year.
Yeah.
At least I got that far.
And also,
At least
like,
they know
and
it
also, like,
exists.
you like universities are now just elitist organizations
Yeah.
where we can't trust them. Whereas high school teacher, hey, Mr. Jenkins used to diddle me. He's a fucking normal guy.
Movie starts out.
I like to diddle too.
One day before spring break. Last day of class before spring break.
Yep.
Teachers teaching the kids about herd immunity. These kids are in Alabama. They can't go to Cancun.
Yep.
They go to.
They're very close to
They
it,
go
but
to one
can't go.
town over from Alabama.
They can literally get there in a puddle jumper, and but they're not. Yeah, they can't get there. Yeah.
But they go to Myrtle Beach instead. That keeps them.
Alabama is on they could just be on the Gulf of Mexico.
That keeps them. It keeps them in the continental U.S. where the zombie deer are.
Oh, that's right. Because we're talking like in deer territory, more up toward us. Actually, it's probably the top half of the country mostly.
You got some right wingers mixed with some lefties. They're all on the same bus trip. It's a school bus trip.
And Myrtle Beach is good because it keeps you in a pretty much a purple area, so it's not too right, too left. That way you can throw in a couple of like chum liberals in there, like super lefties, to make people laugh about they're being both sidesy about this.
And I don't know quite how to write this because I'm not going to sit down and write a movie right now. But the idea would be
hold on, everybody, we're coming back. We're coming back.
Just that music, the dun da 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 da. Bum, 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 ba, da, da, as we're gone.
All right, and you know what?
We wrote a whole movie.
It was surprisingly quick to write Herd Immunity, the movie.
Yeah, you start with a high school teacher teaching them about that, and then they go, and then we have some lesson about vaccinations and all that.
Yeah,
and we
then of course you
drive
got
it home through a funny zombie movie.
Well, and then you have some like scoffing by people just being like, yeah, right, blah blah blah, and of course so does the high school teacher like factor into this? Is this like a field trip or something like that they go on?
Yeah.
So they're
spring break field trip, those.
Yeah.
that could be the name of the movie too. Spring break field trip.
Yeah, spring break field trip, Myrtle Beach. the colon, the SD, VSU, SUV, whatever. Oh,
but maybe the kids, they all have measles vaccinations, which also prevents them from getting chronic wasting disease from the deer.
Yeah.
But like 2 or 3 of the students don't, and it falls within the percentage based on the bus ride of how herd immunity won't work if enough people don't have it.
Yeah.
So they get bit by deer, turn into deer.
Which is funny because you definitely don't have to get bit by deer. You just have it actually comes from like the soil and shit like that.
I want them to get bit by deer.
But like they need to get bitten by a deer.
And then they turn to zombie deer, and then like the whole...
do they actually start they get like hooves and shit? Yeah.
And the whole group starts collapsing because, and at some point, someone's like, "We don't have herd immunity," and they run like, "That's the name of the movie."
Somebody in the background.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like 3 kids are getting bit are fine, but when the 4th gets bit, we don't have herd immunity anymore.
Wait a minute, you didn't get the No, I thought it was bullshit. My parents would have let me get vaccinated.
I just want to write a really funny movie that MAGA types would watch because it's got tits, it's got fucking, it's got cocaine,
and the thing about it is
it's got beaches.
What you got to do is start it out with the liberal high school teacher being insufferable, so they'll keep watching, and then you lull them into this false sense of security, where then slowly you trickle in science.
Teacher gonna be killed first just to make them happy to keep
and again,
keep invested.
He's obnoxious. People are like fighting back about him, and you almost feel like you're fighting, like you're on their side. But then, 20 minutes in, what that would be, halfway through the first act or something like that. Like that's when they don't die. Like that's when the everything goes starts to build up, and that's when you can start getting a little bit of your crazy, liberal message, scientific message out there. Like when pro-science was a thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't.
We grew up in the last era where science wasn't villainized.
Oh no!
When we were in high school,
like we had Bill Nye the Science Guy,
and then it went
TV.
downhill once we graduated. We should have stayed in high school longer to save it.
Dude, that's another movie. I love essentially the Van Wilder, but the high school guy, just why are you still here? To save high school. I think you're just stupid. No, man, if I don't stay
Yeah.
here, who'll save it? Dude,
NASA's not doing space flights. We got this South African just trying to be president. I'm going to stay in high school until things are fixed.
I'm going
my
to fix
way.
It. That's right. I'm the high school Van Wilder.
Also, I have
Spring
to-
Break edition.
Also, I have to go clean that toilet. The only way I can afford to live while being a high schooler in my 30s is to be the janitor
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. Also, just because I'm technically just a senior, so can I still fuck the freshman? I don't think you can. You're 30 years old.
Matthew McConaughey rules. Matthew McConaughey rules. Are you saying Matthew McConaughey rules like he's cool, or are you trying to say his dazed and confused speech is rules to live by?
I said two, so one of each.
You pick whichever one keeps me in school without going to jail or getting canceled.
Yeah. But Matthew McConaughey rules rule. That's it. But yeah. So okay. So now we've got two movies. We've got Spring Van Wilder High School Spring Break edition.
I just really love the idea of someone staying in high school to protect science.
Oh yeah. Somebody who clearly like, I think you just flunked out enough. He's like, yeah, gotta protect this science. You
No,
failed
they're going to
science.
put the 10 Commandments up in here soon. I'm going to tear them down. I'm the only one tall enough to reach them.
Yeah, you guys
Well, I'm
probably.
really glad we have this 35-year-old who's actually shorter than most of the basketball team.
Yeah.
You know, kids each generation get taller.
Yeah. These last kid was only able to claw down 5 of the commandments. We still got the worst 5 up there. Take him down, Van Wilder of high school. I don't think we can legally use that title.
Goes to the guidance counselor. So, exactly at what point do I fill out the paperwork for the 401k? You're a student! Teachers don't even get those in high school. Yeah, but I really need to invest in my future.
Yeah, I'm technically the janitor now, so if I could also.
We never hired you to that. You just clean toilets for fun?
Hey, they smell nice.
Science!
Hey, I only clean the ladies' bathroom.
There you go. That's why. That's
Yeah, Van Wilder of high school. Whip, 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 Spring Break edition.
Van Wilder of high school.
Anyway, that's some plenty of content there. What we got? We got another one.
Oh yeah. This one's something. Oh,
This is interesting. This is an Aussie story actually. It's too bad we haven't talked to our friend Bruce in a while. We got to get him on one of these days. But I've heard he is actually no longer like he's afraid of traveling to the United States because of the
he doesn't want to get
deportation
detained
issues, and he is
put in El Salvador prison again.
Yeah, well, I mean,
He's already been there once.
he's there right now. He's actually just hangs out just for fun. So he's actually been hanging out at the El Salvador prison, just chilling out. So
Does he have a trebuchet that just sends like tobacco in, like we had that story of?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh my, yes,
I
yeah.
love that story.
Yeah, I don't think it was a.
We were doing math so hard that episode. I've never had my calculator out on my phone. Not my. I don't have, I don't have, like,
TI-83 or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't bring a calculator, but I've never actually done math so hard than that episode.
Yeah, you know what? Because you should always calculate sooner than you calculator.
Ooh.
Third dad joke. Third dad joke, folks.
Sounds like you are calculate.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, sounds like you were calculating. I'm going to get you a calcu-abortion.
Oh, I like that.
She has a calcu period. She missed her calcu period.
Look, if you take these numbers and hold them upside down, it says abortion. What numbers do that?
Letters. It's algebra.
Letters. I love it. What numbers do that? Letters. God, that needs to be a joke in the high school movie. High school.
Van Wilder.
Yeah.
Van Wilder of high school. All right. Anyway, so we got a story out of Aussie.
All right. Woman admits to trying to sell human toes regurgitated by dogs. I like that it's plural in both cases.
Yes.
This happened in Australia. An Australian woman narrowly avoided jail Monday over her plans to sell in the black market 2 human toes that dogs, plural, had regurgitated.
So this is
so
okay.
a dog, one dog at one toe, one dog at the other.
We don't know that. I think what happened is, that's what I assume, but at the same time, I think she had these 2 dogs, and then she found their poop and they had toes in them, and she's like, one of these dogs pooped toes out, or each of them pooped.
Yeah, the
one
dog's
toe each.
owner died.
Yes.
The dogs ate the owner.
Yeah.
Your pets
Fine.
only love you until you can stop feeding
Until
them.
you become
then
then
you're
you become food.
food.
Yes, because
Animals.
exactly. And honestly, perfect. I love it. I love
Just
that.
animals.
Honestly, it's kind of how I want to go out. I want to drop dead and have my cats eat my eyeballs. I will say I'll die a happy man if that happens.
Our cat Nigel will lick our eyelids while we're sleeping if the food bowl's empty. That is a warning and a threat.
Oscar chews at my hair.
Yeah, it's a threat.
He picks at my hair. I think he's like, he licks at my hair. I think he's trying to groom me. You know, he's also like, oh, you're so pretty. I think that's a different type of grooming that he's doing. But like, then he just tries to chew my hair. And I'm just like, dude, I'm not dead yet.
Now, this story brought to my attention that there is a Facebook group called Bone Buddies Australia, where people sell and trade bones with each other.
It sounds like
buddies.
Sounds like a fuck group.
Yes,
sounds like it could also.
Really
there's probably
does.
half of the people are looking for fucks.
Boning in Australia probably means nothing because there's 19 other words for boning in Australia that mean nothing to us. They got their own vernacular.
Yeah, the doing doing. Yeah, the ding dong, the doing doing, the binga bonga, the pingle tangle.
Pingle Pangle buddies.
Yeah, the pickle pockle.
Yep. So she told the police that she retrieved the toes from a bin at work and took them home. She was not there when the dogs regurgitated. They were just in a little just in a little plastic container.
Yeah. That's why I figured she wasn't.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm still in those toes."
Yeah. And she got formaldehyde. Like that's why I was like, we don't know. We just know there were two dogs, right? Two dogs, and at some point, two toes came out.
What I love is that she's like, I can sell those toes. Like, I walk into a toy store and I'm like, that figure's valuable. I'm going to buy that and resell it. I'm an asshole. I'm part of the problem. I get it. But she walks into a vet and she goes, oh, look at those toes. I can resell those. Yeah. That's
it's a different type of crazy. And also, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I wonder what toes get. Apparently, both toes together, 400 Australian dollars, about $253 as of March when this was published. 253 American dollars.
That's an assumption on that's what she could get.
Yeah, selling them online. Yeah, she thought she could make as much as. So that was like the high level or give me a best offer, OBO.
So she goes on Bone Buddy. She posts these toe bones.
$400 OBO, 400 Australian dollars OBO.
Although they are not bones. They have flesh on them and everything because they are not fully digested. They are just toes bitten off, swallowed, puked up, put in a jar.
Yeah, but
those toes have seen some stuff.
I will say she is.
That's a Pixar movie in the making right there.
those toes have seen some stuff. Up to. I could see I can see her justification for being like, oh, the place to go sell human toes is a group that loves bones. Like, I mean, it's not like human.
They ratted her out instantly.
Yeah, I'd be like, listen,
instantly they called the police and they gave a tip. Like, this woman, she's got human remains.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, most of the time you want to do that because, like, this could be a murderer. This could be somebody who's like going and desecrating corpses.
She'd be cutting off her own toes
or whatever.
Now,
and this is, I will say, this is honestly one of the the chillest versions of this that you could do. Like when they actually like investigated, they found out the whole story, which is why she was not given any jail time. She was given 150 hours of community service. They did say, hey, this is the weirdest shit we've heard of in a long time, but you're like, you took some toes out of some poop and you tried to sell them. Don't try to sell them. It's not really like
puke.
Puke
toes. These are puke toes.
Puke toes. Oh,
they're not poop toes.
Regurgitated, right. Yes.
Puke
exactly,
toes.
Yes. Puke toes.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We sometimes don't get the facts right in the show. These are puke toes.
We don't want to peddle in misinformation. These are puke toes, not poop toes. Okay, yes. Okay. And puke toes, not poop toes might be the name of the
Also,
of the episode.
Australia doesn't their spring is our fall, and our fall is their spring.
Right,
so
we're literally
now,
flopped out.
This is not a spring story for them. It is a fall story.
It is true, yes. Yeah.
So, do they do Halloween in the spring?
Although, I will say, hold on.
Do they do Halloween when we do? Do they do Halloween at all?
Well, I guess, yeah. So, hold on. This actually happened originally happened in February of 2024. We're just hearing about it because of the, she was charged.
Still their fall, winter.
Yeah, fall, winter. No, fall. No, summer would be December-ish, so this would be closer to summer for them.
We still can't do a spring thing on it because it doesn't fall into the right parameters. It completely breaks the rules of our show.
Oh my god, you know what? Yeah, we were just at the very top of the show. We're like, you know what? We won't even pay attention to rules. That actually may have been the one that we couldn't keep. But we were just like, we're not going to pay attention to rules. Nope. We don't have to.
I'm holding it hard and fast here.
For this one story,
does not work
because we can't figure out a story.
Honestly, I can't. And we haven't done two. We didn't do the Downs one, and we didn't do this one because they have fall and they have Downs.
Yep.
So we couldn't do either.
Okay.
I can't believe it. We're actually doing stories where we're like, nope, no funnies.
This is what we call journalistic integrity. or journalistic.
Is this why the Daily Mail or whatever the fuck it is keeps using us?
Oh yeah, the
as
Daily Wire.
Daily Wire keeps
Yeah.
using our shows as linked story
Because
things.
because they scrub our transcripts and we sound like crazy people.
We're
And
also,
they don't hear
no
our tone
longer on
when we're-
Twitter. So, well, we are. Our
Yeah.
account stands, but I don't use it because I'm not a Nazi. I don't use Twitter.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I believe what we meant to say is we have journalistic integrity. That's a fourth dad joke for you folks.
That's a South Park
Number
joke.
four, South Park.
Integrity Farms.
South Park, back July 9th.
Yeah.
July 9th, ladies and gentlemen.
May.
No, July 9th.
I saw May.
I believe it's July.
I saw May.
I don't know where you saw May. Probably
I saw May
probably-
from an ad from South Park on TikTok with their official ad.
Yeah, it said July 9th.
I said May.
Oh, well,
I saw May. I swear to God.
We saw two different things then.
Right.
I saw the most recent one on YouTube I saw was anyway, doesn't matter. We're not talking about South Park.
Pause the show.
Anyway, we wrote another movie.
That's the end of the show. It doesn't even come back.
Yeah, let's see.
Pause the show for us to
Yeah,
find out
no,
what's-
I'm seeing July 9th.
Really?
July
I
9th.
saw May on their ad. I swear it said this May.
Well, anyway.
They had a voiceover thing with, the deep,
Yeah, that's
deep voice guy.
4 days ago, Hollywood Reporter, July 9th.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just glad they
Maybe
they were
may-
supposed
oh,
to.
maybe it's a special.
I was gonna say they were supposed
It
to
might be a special.
They were supposed to release a special before the new season came
Yeah,
out.
I bet that's it.
Okay.
Bet that was it. Bet there's a special. Because
'cause
the
they-
special
'cause-
showed Elon Musk, Randy being like Elon Musk.
Oh yeah. No, so the trailer I saw was Starvin Marvin and P Diddy.
Okay, I saw Randy becoming Elon Musk, and then all the planes in the U.S. hitting each other in the air.
Oh yeah. Oh, and like Butters being a
Air traffic controller.
Air traffic controller. Yeah. Anyway, so
That must be a movie special ahead of this season, so that makes way more sense.
they said they were going to start the year off with a special and then do a new season. The season's July 9th. That would make sense. They would do one next month. Okay. We got to the bottom of this one before we got to our last story, which is so I haven't even read this story yet, so you're going to have to walk me through this.
There's not much here. Gruesome. I love when a story starts that way.
Yeah.
Shocking. Like, it's such bad journalism.
Yeah.
But
It's from USA Today.
pinnacles of their
Yeah,
profession.
exactly. Yeah. Oh my God. Definitely not AI generated content at all. I'm sure.
I worked at a job once that always got USA Today, and I would literally pull out the life section and look
Yeah.
at the TV and movie reviews
Yeah.
and stuff and throw away the rest.
Yeah. Dude.
It was basically Entertainment Weekly wrapped in, like, fish paper.
Oh yeah, it's like People Magazine. Like it is that's the level of garbage that USA Today is. Like,
All right. So gruesome. Again, man found guilty of decapitating another man and then playing soccer with his head.
What?
Editorial note, contents of the story may be disturbing to some readers.
Oh yeah, everybody. By the way, we probably should have mentioned that at the beginning.
Gruesome. I think that's what the gruesome was trying to tell
Yeah.
us.
Also, we maybe should have mentioned that at the beginning of the show.
whole
By the way,
show.
all of Lost at Home podcast stuff. If we are gruesome, we want to be gruesome.
We're
we
marked
should be
as
the
not
gruesome.
safe for work or are
Exactly.
or whatever
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
so whatever.
We're already good. Fuck you.
A man who was stabbed by another man was stabbed 84 times. Saved it.
Journalistic integrity, everybody.
I misread it,
I know,
but I
a man
saved
who was
it.
stabbed by a man was stabbed by a man who stabbed a man 84 times.
Saved
Anyway.
it.
Oh, yeah,
a man who was
flawless
a
victory.
man who stabbed a man 84 times, decapitated the man, and then played soccer with his head, was convicted of first-degree murder Thursday. Prosecutors in New Mexico announced this week.
Which was actually about a month ago, yeah.
Joel Arciniega song.
Perfect. Yep. You just came back from Mexico, and this is what you got.
Hey, I got my like 7 phrases I need to survive down there down, and
Yeah.
I was good.
Yeah, well, okay. So
This wasn't one of them.
Albano.
Yes.
Esbiana Albano.
Was found guilty of first-degree murder in the brutal killing of 51-year-old James Garcia on
Perfect.
June 20th, 2021, according to the release from the 3rd Judicial District's Attorney's Office.
Yeah.
Dona Ana County District Court records show a jury convicted that man, I cannot say his name, of the felony charge on Wednesday following a 3-day trial before
Yeah.
Judge Richard M. Jaquez.
Yeah. Sure.
Jaquez?
Yeah.
Jacuz?
Dude, I'm not gonna try.
J'accuse.
I would say
Wait, no,
j'accuse.
it's the French thing where it's like you're being
I say
accused. J'accuse.
Yeah.
A sentencing date was not listed online Friday. The verdict came on the heels of what prosecutors called a lengthy legal process, marked by challenges surrounding the defendant's competency. The man, the killer, whose officials said was unhoused.
This is, if you want to talk about like how long it went, like
he was unhoused.
It was June 20th, 21 when they were when
Yeah.
they were like found. Like, yeah, so
3.5 years.
that was when they were. I mean, granted, that was mid COVID, so there's probably a bunch of things. That's how freaking protracted this whole thing
Which
was.
is weird.
So
because
when we
this
say
doesn't-
2021, this is like that's not when this verdict happened. That's when they were found guilty of murdering the person.
This is also cut and dry as hell. I don't get why it lasts long. All right, in this horrific attack, the victim was stabbed a dozen
84
times.
7 dozen times.
with a
Exactly
small-
7 dozen times.
Yep. 7 dozen times with a small switchblade. The convicted felon also decapitated Garcia, cut off his finger, and proceeded to play soccer with the victim's head following the brutal murder.
He was just bored. He was just like, what do I do now? Hey!
I hope that this dragged out in court for weeks and weeks and weeks because they're like, when our defendant here was accused of playing soccer,
He was
with the
really
victim's
playing-
head, he was really playing kickball.
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, he was playing football.
Yeah.
This is America, after all, people. We're in America.
Soccer, football. Soccer, football. It's different.
Can we really put this man away for the rest of his life? Like, soccer with someone's head when it was actually football? I rest my case. That's it.
yeah. Well, yeah, we're
Perjury.
just gonna have
I'd say he just basically looks at the other guy. He's like, perjury.
yeah.
Everyone who said the word soccer at any point here, perjury.
Yeah.
You all perjured yourselves.
Mistrial. We're going to have to do this one over. Do-over. You know the old classic do-over defense? It's they used the wrong word, do-over.
I can get my defendant on the stand right now and he can clear all this up. Sir, were you playing soccer with that man's head? No, sir, I was playing football.
Okay.
Well, I believe we have it.
I rest my case.
Hey, see that girl over there in third row? I'd like to play football with her head too right after I cut the fuck off her neck.
Yeah, that's
right. Strike that from the record.
I'm going to murder her. I'm going to play soccer with her corpse and football with her head. I don't even know what those two things are different, but they're different, and I'm going to murder them. All right, we're going to strike that from the record, please.
Ping pong with eyeballs. Ping pong with eyeballs. Why does he keep saying that? I don't think he got to do the whole thing. I think he was trying to do a triathlon.
I'm going to use
with that guy's head.
I'm going to take 2 dicks and do devil sticks with those dicks. You know, devil sticks. Remember those from the 90s or whatever they were?
When did it become illegal to play football with someone's head? I didn't cut it off. It just did that.
I'm going to go ahead and say this. Airbud rules. You might be guilty of murdering somebody, but you're not technically committing a crime if you play football with their head. You just like a golden retriever can play basketball.
Objection!
No, it can't!
Objection! Airbud rules cannot be used in this case. Not
Oh,
Airbud rules.
Yeah.
Airbud rules.
Oh, shit. Oh, wait. Yeah, we forgot. Where's the punctuation, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could the stenographer please read back the
That sentence
punctuation?
was missing a comma like he was missing a head. Ha! You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Sir, you're under oath.
I murdered him. I murdered him and chopped off his head and played both football, soccer, ping pong with his eyeballs, and devil sticks with his dick.
Give me a gun, I'll play Call of Duty in this entire courtroom.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
Spring Break edition.
I don't know why it took 4 years for him to get convicted.
Well, my guess is if you
Semantics, that's all I got.
If he was okay, so if he killed somebody on June 20th, 2021, that was kind of peak. I guess peak end of COVID.
COVID could slow things
My guess is
down.
like everything's always slowed down. My guess is you probably didn't even start going through the court system until 2023.
He also raped his wife before this. So.
Oh, that old gag.
Yeah.
What do you know? Yeah. Oh, did I play football with my wife?
I was just non-consensually jousting with her pussy.
Oh my God, it's the worst euphemism for rape I've ever heard. Oh my God.
All right, get lost.
The demons on the train said the seats don't recline, said the cheese pizza's not for them. Said they only drink Sprite, and they told me about the hat they used for soccer last night. And how the head was alive, and how the head looked like mine. The demons on the plane said that I look good tonight, and I said, stop it, as I winked and we laughed, and they said, no, really, have you thought of selling your toes? And I said, no, and they said, no, and they said, why? And I said, no, 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 no. But it's spring, 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 and I don't wanna see you go. Spring, 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 you can't stay. Oh no, no, no. All the demons on the plane said they thought that you were dead. Said we thought that you all knew, yeah, we thought you knew what to do. We didn't know that you were alive. And the deer, they said no, 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 no. But it's spring, 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 and I don't wanna see you go. Spring, 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 you can't stay. Oh no, no, no. All the AI disabled people said they were selling their toes. Said, you gotta sell them now, you gotta sell them while they're good, cause they go bad. You gotta sell them while they're good, you gotta sell them now, you gotta sell them while they're good, cause they go bad, they go bad. But it's spring, 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 and I don't wanna see you go. Spring, 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 you can't stay. Oh no, 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 no. All the AI disabled people said they were selling their toes. Said you gotta sell them now, you gotta sell them while they're good, cause they go bad. You gotta sell them while they're good, you gotta sell them now, you gotta sell them while they're good, cause they go bad.